Hi, today I'm making a special thing to help in my craft room, and I'm going to be making a tabletop ironing board, ironing pad. And so I'm just going to show you some of the materials that I'm going to be using to make that, and then we'll get started. I bought some cotton batting. That's going to be one of my layers because you need a few layers between your board and the top. And then I also have something called insul-bright. It's a thermal fabric that kind of helps handle that heat from the iron. And then I found some pretty fabric that I really like for the top surface of my ironing board. And perhaps I will be using some felt. I don't know, but we'll see if I'm going to need that or not when I'm finished. Okay, so those are the materials. Let's get started. Okay, so what I have here is a board. This actually was a shelf that we took out of a cupboard that we were getting rid of. And then I have the batting, the thermal fabric, and then of course the fabric for the outside. And I've got it all stacked here. And what I did is I used my miter saw and I just cut a corner off of one side, and then I used that to measure the other corners and just did a cut on all four corners so that I can get a little bit of a rounded thing going on with the fabric. And so I'm also using a staple gun, and I have looked at my staples and made sure that they're not going to go all the way through the wood because we wouldn't want that poking through. So we're just going to start right in, and I'm going to do corners first and do a little bit of trimming and cutting and then move on. You'll notice that as I'm doing this, I'm cutting out little triangles from each of those edges so that I don't get a lot of bulk as I fold the fabric over. And so I'm just cutting out a triangle enough so that when I fold up the edge, it is not overlapping those end pieces. I really want this backside to be tidy and nice and not fraying. So as I'm going through and applying this last layer, I'm going to fold the edges over so that I create a nice little hem as I staple it down. And that way it keeps the back from fraying. It just makes a lot nicer finish. And I also try to line up each piece with the piece next to it so that they're folded in at about the same level rather than being, one poking out further than the other. But this creates a nice finished edge. So I want to show you our finished tabletop ironing board. I really love it. I didn't use the felt on the back because I felt like this was clean and nice enough. And so there you go. I think it will be really useful and really helpful, not just for ironing while I'm doing a project, but also as a cooling mat for things like mugs and that type of thing when I'm using heat. And so I'm really excited about it and I kind of love it.